Hello YouTube, this is Blaster MS, and I would like to first do this as a reply to Galactic God, whether he has or has not yet to do a video about the Generation Duels tournament format. If you want to know what the Generation Duel tournament format is there is a new format that will separate each era Yu-Gi-Oh! So you can play in that specific format. So you have original Yu-Gi-Moto era, Jaden Yuki GX era, as well as Yusei Fudo 5D's era, and then so on and so forth. I don't know the other two main characters, that's why I'm skipping that. But basically, it's a good thing because it gives you a chance to play all these older cards in this tournament format. Hopefully, this will also go down to shop tournament formats too, so that way it gives them more reason to have these tournament formats, even if it allows surprise support or lacks it, so they can at least sell probably older cards and stuff. Moving forward from that, the only issues about this is there's going to be cards outside of that era that won't be at least allowed. There will be cards that are from that era that won't be allowed, which will be like, of course, Relinquish, which won't be allowed because ritual monsters are forbidden, which is bad. If Konami did this correctly, they would only limit to all set releases per era to allow those cards to be played. That way, they could keep cards that were in that formatted era in play. Cards that should have been released in that formatted era, they could then water in by a slow trickle, so that way each of those cards came in, like the Millennium Pack cards that gave the new Winged Dragon Aura forms, Spear mode, and Immortal Phoenix mode, and so on. But cards like Twin Twister will be in this format with cards like the past destruction cards such as Heavy Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster. Then you have Giant Trune. That massive amount of destruction for back row in this era is already going to be ridiculous thanks to that. And because of that, other eras will of course have those cards too that will be allowed, like Twin Twister, which is bad. Also, like I said, is going to restrict certain cards from certain eras such as ritual monsters, which are also not allowed in the GX era. So sorry people, if you want to play Cyber Angels, they won't be allowed when you want to play that straight deck right there. If they did it like I said, they could have kept it restricted to only cards of that set era from when it first started to before the next generation of cards, which will be GX. So you'll have that big bridging gap of cards from those prior sets. Then you could add in smaller cards like new Blue Eye support or Dark Magician support just to a certain level without going too far possibly. But at the exact same time, adding cards like the new Dark Magician support or Blue Eye support will be too much. Of course, you will not allow the ritual, not the ritual, but the single version of the Blue Eyes cards to come in. But you will have the ritual card, which will be a little too powerful for that time era. But at the exact same time, it will have cards like Chaos Emperor to deal with in that era, as well as Blackluster Soldier and other removal cards. But it's very interesting how they're doing this now. I believe it's probably a response to yugioh. But otherwise, they might want to take a step back before they start this tournament scene and reevaluate how they want to do it. Or at least after they do their first tournament, see how players respond to it. If players have issues, which I say make sure you speak out well enough to representatives. Email Konami. Let them know so that way they know. So if they want to continue it, they can improve it and make it better. That's why I see that's probably better is a response from word of mouth. Send the emails. Make sure you have friends also do the same thing, and you let Konami know how you want it at least to be. Of course, if you put a little too many complaints in the wrong era, you're gonna, of course, not era but area, is gonna then cause problems for the format as long as you don't put those wrong complaints in that area of what you're trying to complain about. But hopefully everybody might have a shot at liking this. I say give it free try shots of playing with friends before you decide to go ahead and get into it or invest into it heavily. If you got old cards that are just sitting there collecting dust, wipe that dust off and get ready to sleeve them in and give it test plays. Give it a shot before you get a chance to do it. Try to get your local shops to do the tournaments during the week since it's summertime for many of you that are still within high school, middle school, so that way you get a chance to at least try it before entering that tournament. And I can't wait to see, of course, what any other people's responses are. So make sure you leave your comments below for Galactic God. If you have any directed to me to let me know, whatever it may be. Till next time, this is Blaster Mez. I hope you all have a good night.